Seem a little. I don't know if I need to bring my tubers down or bring my talkers up. Okay, tubers. You all let me know about this volume. Welcome on in the room. I got the volume up on both. I think I got you all set up good. I think we're cooking. I think we're cooking here. Do I need to move my talkers over? If I move my talkers over, what's gonna happen? So I'm trying to get you all as even as possible. Hey, welcome in. Is that Dana? I think it's Dana. Dana? It's going by kind of fast. Michelle, welcome in the room. Let us know where you're coming in from, what side of the globe, not your actual address, but what side of the globe you're chiming in from. And that's Mooney. Welcome in. Welcome on in the room. Welcome on in. Let us know where you are chiming in from, what side of the globe you are chiming in from, and what you been doing for your self-care this week. What you do or what you got planned for next week for your self-care. So I guess I don't know if you just joined or if it's telling me to send this to you. I don't know. I'm reading the screen. So I do see some people coming across. Is that Crystal? I think that's the Crystal that came across. Let me know. Chime on in. I am Coach Robin Renee. I'm serving as your hostess in the Self-Care Suite today. This is where we meet every Sunday, at least for 2025. I ain't promising nothing for 2026, but Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's where we come to kick off our shoes, relax our feet, discuss the many ways to wellness. We also exchange useful, sustainable, low-cost or no-cost self-care strategies, because financial challenges shouldn't stop us from taking care of ourselves. Thank you so much. Hey, wait, I saw a heart on the tube. We got hearts on the tube? Wait, whoever just did that? Is that Mohammed? Hey, Mohammed, how are you? Do we have hearts over here? Ruth, wait a minute, let me get you up out of here, because see, you're not coming up in here with no shenanigans early in the live. No, we're not. No, we're not. I can't tell you how to bag nobody. You need to go to some lessons. Go to some player lessons or something. Don't play with me, though. Don't play with me. Yeah, you up out of here. I saw a heart over here. So if anybody's on the tube, no, Mindful Plenty. No, I do not. Ooh, Portugal. Hey. I thought I saw a heart on the tube. Maybe I'm tweaking. I don't know. Hey, talkers, come on in. Let us know. We got Portugal over here on the tube. So let us know what side of the globe you are chiming in from and what you've been doing for your self-care. Or did you do anything for your self-care last week? Because this is Sunday. It's the new week. We're going to our new week. What did you do for your self-care? I'm Coach Robin Renee. I'm going to be your hostess in the Self-Care Suite. And for today's conversation, I'll be your hostess in the Self-Care Suite. And y'all got me today. You got me today. I don't have any guests. I'm not on location, anywhere. So it's just us chilling in the hammock. Us out here chilling in the hammock. So let me blink before I say this, Mohammed. I'm in America. Come help us. I'm in America. I'm blinking more than twice. Come help us. So let us know. We know we got Portugal over here on the tube. Who we got coming in on the top? And what have you been doing for your self-care? Or did you do anything for your self-care over the past week? Because again, we are sharing these ideas. We're sharing these strategies with one another. I don't want to come in a teaching capacity. I just finished doing some of that. So so this is just where we're going to come and share. Again, I don't mind sharing some strategies that I use for self-care. You can have them, if they work for you. But if you have some that you want to share, that's what we're here for. That's what we are here for. So I am in the U.S., in the Midwest, the best in the U.S., except for when it comes to the wintertime. Our winters are not. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Except for in the winters. So, yeah. I don't know. It says something about my connection. So, talkers, let me know. In fact, I'm about to turn on this hotspot so I can make sure we got us a good connection here. But it's something went across about my connection. So let me know if this is a strong connection for you all. So why it's saying I have a good connection. I'm gonna turn it on anyway. I don't understand. But it's saying I have a good connection. But if something came across the screen on the top and it said I had an unstable connection. So talkers, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. What's up with your self-care? What you've been doing? What you got planned? What's coming up? So they're sending me things. I don't know if they're sending me things because the people are in the room. Hello, hello, hello. That's Samson and Colin or Callan. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Let us know what side of the globe you are chiming in from. So I see folks coming in on the talk. I'm not sure if you all can hear me or not, which is why you're not responding or saying anything. But if you just join, say hey. Just come in and say hey. Passing through. That's it. If you passing through, I said it right. Okay. Hey, welcome in. But talkers, I don't know. Yeah, we got some hearts over here. Wait, who's hitting how do you get the hearts on the tube? I've never seen this. So please excuse me. So I see some hearts going up. I see some hearts. So how do you do this on the tube? I need to find out about this. This is new. This is exciting. How are you? Whoever's hitting the hearts over here on the tube, let me know. Like, what are you doing to make those hearts go up? So what does that crown? I don't know. I need to find out a lot of stuff on the tube. I don't know. All right, look, I'm learning. I need to find out what that crown means and how those hearts are going up. So if you're hitting some hearts over there or whatever it is, I thought I saw a heart earlier, but I see more. All right, talkers, what you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? I do have the folks in here. Let's see. So yeah. Oh, okay. Somebody tell me what you're doing to make those hearts go up. Somebody is doing it on the tube. Not sure who. Okay, and there's some smiley face. Where are the emojis coming from on the tube? Y'all let me know something. You click on the screen. Oh, you know what? Now I'm hoping all these people, is you. Okay, thank you, Kingy. Thank you so much. I hope all of them not trying to combine, because I don't know about that. I don't know about that. If all those, unless it's more of they just want to be not necessarily competitive, but a little bit more relevant to attract different users to come over to the tube, because the tube is my kind of vibe. But we got emojis over here. Okay, I need to find out what they mean, and I just hope it's just not as stressful as the talk, because yeah, I can talk about that for my self-care. I'm gonna talk about that for a minute while y'all coming in, but let us know where you chiming in from. But for me, the more I'm learning, so it boosts the strength. Okay, so it does have the same meaning behind it. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know what's going on over here on my tubers. But on the talk, it's just so much going on over there. I mean, it's really a lot going on. Well, over there or over here, specifically if I'm talking to the talkers, that for me, the more I learn, it's becoming a little stressful. Trying to keep up with the different things or the changes that are going on, and then encouraging people and educating people on what it is. So this is where I'm coming to the conclusion, and I got to say it just for the purposes of the stream. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I actually am a certified addictions counselor. I've been one 92 30 almost 30 years. Yeah, anyway, but I am a certified addictions counselor. I'm saying it from experience. I do know that from my clients and just living in the world. But there's a dynamic that operates when and I'm speaking of the other app. So it says you go live sometimes and people do that. And wait, come down. And one person in your screen. Yes. So step it up, double tap your screen. Oh, thank you all. Okay, so yeah, we got tappers over there. But this is and the reason why I'm saying is about the tube, because the tube is so chill, and I like it. I like it. Thank you so much for getting your heart me. Who's the Hey Arlene, welcome in. But with the talk, it's encouraging. This is my opinion. Again, I got to say, for entertainment purposes only. Happy Sunday to you as well. It's encouraging addictive behavior. I don't know the logic behind it or whoever came up with the whole system, but it puts people in a state of I gotta do, I gotta do, I gotta do, and you got to make these decisions immediately. Now, hopefully, they don't start battling over here on the tube, because then I'm gonna be kind of messed up. Because I done let go of them other apps, and I'm only on the talk. And yes, and you can speak from a medical perspective, Arlene. You can speak from, that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking from a professional perspective, but I have to say it's for entertainment purposes only. But that making you feel like you have to be a part of something, and that's what this whole, well, I got to compete against somebody else as the creator. The creator gets frustrated when people aren't, just constantly tapping on the screen. It also puts you in a place where, how if you having a video conference or a video call with someone, like you can't even step away from your screen for too long, because then they send this, that puzzle piece out that they are detecting inactivity. So you got to come back to the screen. So they want you locked in, engaged in what's going on at that particular time, only on that particular app. So it's not, thank you so much for sharing the live. So it's not, you can't really do a lot of stuff. Also, when you have creators, and this is just what I have been witnessing. I mean, I observe people, and I observe behaviors. People who initially would only come on for a certain time or a certain day, I see them like all times of the week, all times of the day, night. I mean, and I open up the app and I go on there, quite often. Sometimes I'm just going on as a consumer. I'm not going on, to post anything. But this is what I'm feeling. Again, it's for entertainment purposes only. They got caught up. They got caught up in that feel good of, now it could be monetary, or it could be the whole likability factor that's increasing, because it's like more people like me and more people are tapping and more people come in. So, I kind of steer away from that, but so it's a little weird. So as a live host or a creator or whatever I'm being identified as, it gets a little murky. That's the word I'm going to use. I got to use my words carefully. Is this you coming up, Arlene? I don't know. G Tuck. Oh no, I don't know who that is. G Tuck, you got to say something else to me, because I don't. That's like letting people in your house. I don't do that. Okay, so the saying, you go to bed and they on, you wake up and you get ready. Yes, people are on a long time. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's the whole likability factor that is increasing, and they're looking like, oh, I'm getting a little bit more popular, or they got caught up with that quick money. Because I've heard that before too. When people say the quickest way to make some money is by battling. Now, I'm not enticed by making quick money, because I be asking too many questions. I'm that friend or that relative that when it come down to that stuff, I be asking a lot of questions. I'm the one that you'll be like, never mind, don't, just leave me out of it. Because if it's quick money and if it's easy money, this is just me. This is, I watch them shows, them shows that people get caught up in, and this is just, how I was raised. If it's quick money and it's easy money, the stakes are probably higher to get it and to keep it. If it's quick and easy, the stakes are higher to get it and to keep it. So when it's too good to be true, you that gal, yep, then it's too good to be true. Right. It can be true. But what I've learned, and this is just how I've been living, that if it's quick and easy, the stakes to get it and the stakes to maintain it are high. And that's what I'm seeing when it comes to this particular app. Not the tube, but the talk. That's what I'm seeing over there. Like, in order for them to keep it, because they may have done something, and I don't know, and if y'all on here, you want to talk, come on, request to come on up. But I think that something may have happened when they got the first whatever, let's just say $100. Because I thought I was doing something, I got $10. I'm going to say the truth. I thought like $10, but I've been getting 22 cents, 17 cents, they could have got me, but yeah. It ain't been up there, like, when I do my live. So I'm thinking they may have gotten caught up, and those numbers kept going up, and they're like, I got to come back. But then you have to start pulling away from other things. That's just like being introduced to an addictive substance. And what people may not realize, and this is something I know, Arlene, I have you on here too as a medical professional. This is what I know. Those neurotransmitters, those endorphins, all those feel-good hormones are the same. They don't know if you are eating. They don't know if you doing it. I'm just saying, can I say doing it? They don't know if you having the right. They don't know if you on a roller coaster. They don't know if you're sleeping. Like, the feel-good hormones get activated by things that make you feel good. They don't have personality like that. They don't have brains like that. They go by what is physically happening, and then it turns into something psychologically happening. or they get triggered by something that's psychologically happening and it trickles over into the physical. It's all tied in, but them same neurons, neurotransmitters, hormones that are shooting out, I can't say that word, that are leaving out and giving your brain the signals goes the same. It goes the same. And if you got the RUGS with the D in front, when it comes to that, with substances, I'll say substances. So those mind and mood altering substances, doesn't matter if they're legal or if they're illegal. If you have a small amount, if you have a large amount, the hormones, the neurotransmitters that are activated are the same. So when it comes to something like this, think about can I say gambling? I don't even know what I can say. When you betting, can I say betting? If you get into that behavior, you know how some people don't understand. Well, how could you put your house up? How could you mortgage your house? Well, it may sound kind of cruel and sound kind of mean, but how did you eat that much? You ain't necessarily talking about nobody in that, but it's like because it felt good. Or you can say, well, how did you sleep with that many people? Because it felt good. Like it can all be merged when it comes to what's physiologically and physically and psychologically happening in your body. That outer stimuli can change. And so this is what I am witnessing from my brain, my mind, from what I've learned from my profession, that instant gratification. Yeah. It's the instant gratification that you got to keep chasing. It's the instant gratification that never ends. It doesn't end. You get it and it's like, you off to the races. You off to the races because you got to constantly chase. I told you when I got my $10, because my first payment was $10 whole dollars. I thought I was doing something. Then after that, it was like, okay, we're going to give you $1.22. Okay, we're going to give you 17 cents. We're going to give you 88 cents. It ain't been there, but them first 10, I thought I was doing something, the first $10. But had I been, caught up by it, caught up enough to say, let me get back on here. You laughing, I'm for real. You know, because I told y'all in BG's, I don't know if you was on there that day, baby. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. I got $10 whole, but it ain't. They don't be giving it to me like that no more. Or I don't earn it. Let's just say I don't earn it like that no more. But I think that's a part of it. That's a part of what that algorithm does. It's like, okay, let me tease you. You got out there. So we put you out there because we don't have no control over the algorithm. And I'm not down to nobody who be telling you how to go viral. But most of the people who I've seen through these years that go viral had no intentions on going viral. They did not get on there to say, I'm going to make this video to go viral. So that's what I'm looking at. So if I were in a bet, if I was in a betting situation, I would say viral videos are their stories. When they went viral, they had no intentions of going viral. Absolutely right. They had no intention. You see them. Some people be having. Do they still wear rollers? But they had the bonnets on. They had a roll. They have on pajamas. They was laying down. They was talking like it's. They were just living their everyday life, and it was something in there that touched on the emotions of people that made the stuff go viral. But I haven't heard any of them, and I ain't heard all how many billions of them. But the ones that I've heard did not set out and say, I'm going to hit this button, I'm going to hit that button, I'm going to put this color on that, and then they went viral. So yeah, y'all keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing because y'all numbers be high. The people coming on there saying, this is how you go viral. Keep going because you getting up there. You getting your money somehow, but I don't know if you got the formula. That's just what that's just my observation. I don't know if you really have the formula. So when it comes to your self-care, and I did talk about this in a couple of self-care suites back, in terms of getting caught up, understand who you are when it comes to addictive behaviors. Now, I'm not saying you have an addiction, you have a problem, but in terms of you being enticed, and thank you, Arlene, for that word. So if you're easily enticed by instant gratification, be careful. That's what I'm gonna say. So you said you always say the first person to cry on TikTok didn't mean to. Yep, they went viral and now everyone crying. Yep, everybody be crying. Yep. So be mindful of how you are in terms of you getting your gratification, because that is an excellent way to look at it. Are you okay waiting? See, I'm the type of person, I'm okay waiting. I don't know how many people remember layaway. I don't even know if they still have it. But layaway back in the day where you would put some money on something, the store will hold it, you pay money on it until you can, until you pay it off. It's sort of like, for those who don't know, sort of like credit, but you didn't have a card to do it. Like you actually paid the store. You went to the, to the store to pay. So back in the day, my friends, my cousins, they like layaway. I didn't. Because in my head, this is how I calculated. So this is why I'm explaining to you how I think about stuff. The way I calculated, first, you're going to put your stuff on layaway. So that means you're not walking out the store with your stuff, right? They're going to hold it for you. Then you're paying a fee for them to hold it for you. So whatever it was $3. I can't remember the exact amount, but this is just me and how my brain is calculating. So first, I'm not leaving with my stuff. You're going to hold it for me until I can pay for it. That's a no, the first place, because I gave you some money. Then I gave you more money than what it costs for you to hold it for me. Then you're going to keep it until I come up with the rest of the money. So I get it. I understand the logic. I know why it was created, because people were buying like more big ticket items. But I'm talking about just clothes. We were teenagers. And, like I said, my friends, my family, my cousins, around the same age, they were okay with layaway. I was not the layaway person. What I would do, so I had my own little banking system. And then cousin Cece, I don't know if you on here, but my cousin, she's in the financial industry, and she would use me as examples when she would talk, especially to young people, about how I used to save money. What I would do is, my first bank was mason jars. That's where I put the coins. So I had one for my copper and one for my silver money, right? So I had mason jars, I had envelopes, and I had Crown Royal bags, right? Y'all remember the Crown Royal bags? We didn't know. I mean, our uncles, would come, from out of town. Some that, one that lived in town and the other ones come from out of town. We didn't know. We had them Crown Royal. I mean, that was my bank. And then I put them in a big shoebox, right? So I put them in a big shoebox, and that was my bank. That was my savings. That was my checking. And so my envelopes, when I was ready to purchase the item, so I would put it on. And that's when the designer jeans were big. I mean, like big time designer jeans. I would write the name of the jeans. So I was really into the designer jeans. So I would write the name of the jeans on the envelope. And that's where I would put my money. So while my friends and family, thank you so much for getting your heart me. So while my friends and family were paying for their layaway, I'm just banking my money, right? I'm holding hey Kimmy love. So I'm holding my money, and I don't have the stuff. And this is just how I thought. My mother would always say, anything that's for sale will be on sale. And do you really need it right now? Now, that could have just been a mama thing. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a mama thing because she wasn't about to be buying all that stuff. She had 4 girls and a boy. She wasn't, that may have been how she used, but that's how I interpret it. But she did say that. Everything that is for sale will be on sale. And do you really need that right now? So this is what I had to teach myself in terms of avoiding that whole letdown from the instant gratification. I would just say, well, if it's supposed to be for me, it's going to be there when I get back, when I have my money. But I'm not going to give you no extra money to hold my stuff, and then you keep my stuff. Like, I'm just saying, that just didn't calculate well with me. So for me, I've been doing this a long time. So that quick money, that instant gratification, I'm just not enticed like that. I'm not enticed like that. So if you say that, and I've heard that, well, this is the quickest way to make money, this is the quickest way to go viral, this is the quickest, I be having a lot of questions. And by the time I finish asking questions, then the whole wave of whatever it was going on is over. By the time I get, my questions answered. So think about that when it comes to you being able to navigate, and especially on these apps. You may think that they're not a big part of your life, but they are actually a big part of our lives. Now, I don't know if you see the little thing, they sneaking the little AI stuff in. Because now I looked at my emails, and it's like a summary on the top of my emails telling me what I sent to somebody, what their response was. I'm like, I know. Like, why are you putting this on there? But then I see the little AI letters in the left corner. So somebody, y'all let me know if that's happening. It's in my Gmail. That it summarizes my actual email that I sent, the conversation. And I ain't asked them to do that. I don't know. I got to go in there and figure out how to turn it off. I mean, I know I'm not going to be able to escape AI. It's coming in. Or when you get on and you go to, so you get that. Okay, I don't know what that just started. I just started noticing it. Like within, you see it too, Kimmy. Okay, I just started noticing like this summer, like the past month or so. It wasn't there before. But just hey, House of Flow Wellness. But just look at how, the AI is coming in. It's coming in. So there's something that we, can't avoid. But those things that you can control, and if at this point you do still have some form of control, you say it's sending receipts for sending receipts for everything. So when it comes down to these apps, I mean, now that I see the tool, we got some emojis. I thank you very much for tapping on the screen. But what I was realizing and noticing about the talk is it snatches people real quick. Like some people will be like, well, I wouldn't do this. I ain't about to use the never and the ever anyway. But I just know how I operate. And if I see something, and this is what I will say, when I first started taking it seriously, so it was in January, and I first started taking the talk and the tube, but the tube, they're my people. They be chilling. So so with the tube, it was a little different because I had to learn so much about the talk. But in 1 week, this is what made me pull back when I was like, oh, the lies you tell, you're not about to pull me over there. In 1 week, I recharge, and I don't recharge more than $20. So if it ain't in my account on whatever 17 cent, $1.18, whatever that I done earn, I just don't use it. But when I recharge, it wouldn't be more than $20. But I recharge 3 times in 1 week. I'm like, Ray Charles, whoa Nelly, whoa Nelly, we're not doing this. And then I had to think about, I was learning the app, so I was in and out of these different spaces, understanding that when you come in, you speak to the host, you hit your heartbeat, you send them a gift. You got, yeah, whoa Nelly. I mean, I was like, hold up now, hold up. But that's when I stepped back. I'm like, nah, they're trying to get you hooked on some stuff. Like, this ain't right. And just like you said earlier, in that instant gratification, I mean, it's snatching people. It's snatching people. But I know me. And that's when I said, And when I first started, going into different people's room, and if you've ever been in anybody's room with me, you already know I'm gonna put that in there. You go into one battle, that rattles my nerves. Thank you so much for getting your heart. It seriously rattles my nerves. And I wasn't making the connection right away. Why are my nerves so rattled when these people go into battle, right? I just knew it was just throwing me off. Throw this, give me a donut, give me a heart. It was just too much. But what I had to realize is I don't make rash or irrational in the moment, on the spot financial decisions. I don't. I think about whatever it is when it comes to spending my money. So that dawned on me. These are very irrational financial decisions that you got to make. Yeah, starting off as a penny, but how did the people get $1 million? It may be a penny, but it's some millionaires, and it's some young millionaires, on these apps. But that's what I had to look at. I don't make decisions like this, so that's what was throwing me off. That's what was making me so uncomfortable. Like, I don't. So I'm like, okay, if I'm going to go in. And so now it's like really on one hand. I mean, I do visit other rooms. If some people pop up on my FYP, if I do nothing else. Now, the etiquette I do have, if I do nothing else, because if they pop up on my FYP, I don't know if they're going to come back around. So I don't want to commit to that space, but I am going to come in and I'm going to tap on that screen. As long as I'm sitting there, because I know that helps to push their life out. I am going to do that. But as far as me, putting $20 here, $10, I mean, I thought I was, doing pretty good, like supporting the people. But then 3 times in 1 week, that didn't work out for me. It did psychologically, mentally, it just didn't work out. It didn't work out very well. And I had to make the decision. So are you going to keep running into, all these spaces? But I didn't know I was learning the app. But now I have a better handle on it, and I'm strategic. So I'm not following back everybody that's following me. And it's not because I think I'm better than people. I know it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of energy to try and keep up. So what I will do is I go into the people who are following me, and then I go to their page. I support their page, or if they're live, then I go and, support their live. So I will do that. So, because I don't want them to think, well, I'm just following her and she's not following me. But the other part that I had to realize is when people are following me, or when I get followers behind something, whether it's a live or for one of my classes, it's a service that I'm giving. So if they're, following me because they want more Pilates content, that's because that's what they want. And so I can't feel guilty about that, or feel like I'm obligated, because that's like somebody coming in the store. So if somebody's coming, so you said, yes, you have to find a balance. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to say something about balance too, Kimmy. So what I had to do was be strategic about, like, thinking about, does every store owner want to come to every customer's house and give them some money, right? Like, I am providing a service, so I have to look at that. So that's why they're following me. And some people don't mind. Like, some people are like, okay, you're, giving something that I want, for free, so I'm going to follow you for that. But the balance, I started looking at that a little different. Balance is what we would, just to say generally or generically, strive for. But I've been finding, because I also teach, self-care to community health workers too. And so we had a workshop, and we were just talking about, what does balance mean? What does balance mean? I've been working with them for this particular group for since lockdown. That's when everything first went viral. And so through the years, we have started to navigate around what balance looks like. And a lot of people struggle with balance and feel like they're constantly off balance, right? Like, I'm trying to the whole work-life balance, the whole life-work balance, like that whole thing. So that word balance can be triggering, because some people feel like I'm just never going to get balanced. I'm never going to get balanced. So when we started working and changing the vocabulary around that, and I started using the word synergy, the feedback I got from these community healthcare workers said that made way more sense to them. So now I say synergy. I get it. I understand we're talking about balance. You give some, you get some. But when you're talking about synergy, it means like that whole more than one thing could be right at the same time. So that's what we're looking at. But balance means something got to stay still and it has to stay there. Synergy is moving. It's fluid. If that makes sense. So Kimmy Love, tell me if that makes sense. So I mean, I just, just threw it out there, and and they seem to like that. They seem to like that it's synergy that they want to strive for. But I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. So you like that? That's been working. I mean, that has been working. So when you think about synergy, yeah, okay. So synergy is a little bit more fluid. Balance means that something gonna stay here. It's gonna stay here. So you said synergy makes more sense. Okay, and that's what they told me. So now I use synergy. I work with my groups. I work with whoever I'm working with in my Pilates classes. I work with, how the bodies are moving in there, and then we come together on something. So yeah, so I use synergy, but I get it. I totally get why you said balance, because that's just what we're used to. But when you understand that synergy doesn't keep you stagnant, synergy allows you to grow. Synergy allows you to let go of things and to pick up something else. Then synergy is what I would want. The synergy, the energy of synergy. I got bars. Oh, you guys know I got bars too. I got bars. I got bars. But yeah, so I like that. So that's a part of self-care, or a self-care strategy, or a self-care tool that they have started to use to implement, because they work with the public. I mean, I work with community healthcare workers that work with the public, not the private public, but the serious public. Okay, so we're gonna go with synergy. We're gonna go with synergy. Why I keep saying, y'all tell me if my connection is stable. I don't know why is it the device? I don't know. But look, I got some live examples to bring y'all today. I feel like a Baptist pastor. Okay, wait. Oh, do I like cheesecake? Oh wait, can you make you some? Okay. I'm good, Samson. Thank you so much, because I got that option that I can put people in timeout. But thank you so much for offering. Okay, see, like this. So watch me, Samson. You see Rayford talking about I look homeless in the sundown town? I'm about to put you in the lights out town. How about that? You ain't got no lights no more. And it goes like that. Boom, you out of here. You out of here, Rayford. Okay, Rayford is gone. Girl, people be tripping. Look, I got to go through here. Okay, wait, let me go through here. Okay, let me go through here. I got to go through here. Thank you so much, Josiah. Hey, Jersey, I'm so sorry. I'm speaking the word of God. Thank you so much, Josiah. Thank you for the subscription, for subscribing to me. Okay, thank you all so much. I'm sorry, tubers. The words, the comments don't go as fast. So thank you all so much for engaging in the comments, and for my hearts and my smiley faces. Okay. Oh, it's house. Okay, but look, let me show y'all something. And I'm glad y'all in here too, because I got my medical people, House of Flow. I got you in here. Look at this. I got to show y'all something. So I'm still a certified personal trainer, group fitness instructor. I just don't teach that anymore, but I used to. But I'm prefacing this so I can show y'all this. But I used to, when I taught my classes, I would bring equipment with me, so really more bands. I had like some little small stability balls that I would do, if I'm going out. So today I'm like, okay, we're in a new month. I like to mix up things, my movement practices, right? So yes, I'm going to do Pilates, but then sometimes I may add some other stuff. So I'm like, okay, in the winter time, I'm usually lifting. So I'll add some resistance training. So I said, let me go get me some bands. Since it's about to start getting cooler out, I can start with me some resistance bands, because I can take them outside while I'm traveling, because I can pop out, the car and, go into a park or something like that. And bands are just a lot lighter to carry. So I started looking through my bands. Well, let me show y'all something. Let me see if I can. Wait. I want y'all to hear this. I got to find one. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear this. Can y'all hear this crunch? Look at this. Can I show y'all this? Wait. Y'all see that? Look at that. Look at that. My band's been dried out. Ooh, look. It's crunching. Y'all see that? Look at that. I got bands that I was using, like I said, with my classes. They been dried out. So one I went and pulled. Where is that? Look, this whole thing that just popped loose. Ain't that crazy? Ooh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. See that? See that? So here's the lesson here. Here's the lesson here. And they were hanging in the back. So I have a gym. I have a home gym. And so you said that's the crispy band. Yeah. So yeah, so I got, it's about 5 or 6 of them here. So I had to pull them down. Then they made me go through all of my other bands. So you guys, okay, I'll understand what you wrote in this language. So just in case you are cussing, First, I'm going to remove your comment. And then if you come back with something else, I mean, I don't know what the translation is. You know what? It ain't even letting me. Ooh. Okay, I don't want to report you, but all right, I'm going to give you a minute. But anyway, so this is the lesson. That's why I say I'm thinking like a Baptist pastor. Here's the lesson. At one point, these bands helped me to help a lot of people. It provided what I needed to help my clients get stronger. So that resistance was helping me to help them get stronger. So now that I'm no longer doing the group fitness classes like that, and I'm no longer taking those bands with me, I put them in the back of the gym. So they hanging in the back of the gym. I put them in the back of the gym, right? So you're talking about the transitioning of the seasons, of time moving on, of them not being used. But in order, if you know anything about how rubber operates, you got to stretch it, right? You have to stretch it because that's what makes it continue to work. It allows it to, the elasticity, to stay pliable. If you don't, it hardens. And then those are the tubes, so they're not solid in between. So those are the tubes which allows air to get in, which air can, dry the bands out, as you can see. It dried the bands out. So then I'm thinking, how could something that was so helpful before not serve the same purpose now? There's no way I'm going to be able to work with somebody. For one, I don't want to file no insurance claims. I'm just saying, somebody pull that band and pop themselves in the face. That wouldn't be good. But how can something that was so valuable, that provided so much help, not be helpful anymore? It wasn't used. I put it in the back. It was hung up, behind some other equipment, and I just wasn't using them, anymore. And so I'm looking at where we are just as a society. I don't know where everybody else is from. We're in America. We're in America. But just even in the world, we have some wasteful habits. Some more than others. But we have some wasteful habits. And that kind of hit me. And I'm like, I could have given these away a long time ago. I just didn't think about it. I mean, the whole out of sight, out of mind, they were hanging up in the back. But I started, to pull stuff down. And when I started going through them, then I had to go through all of the bands. So I, went through all of my bands, and those are the ones that I end up pulling out. So one of my great nieces, she wants to start exercising now. She's so cute. She's the cutest thing. She wants to exercise. So I'm going to give her some, I started creating her this little portable gym set. So she got a mat. She got, I only gave her 2 resistance bands, but now I'm going to give her some more bands. She has that little mini stability ball. And what else did I put in there with her? So she got the mat. Oh, I got to give her a towel. Okay, I got to remember that because I got to give her, for when she's sweating. But anyway, I'm going to give her, some more bands. And then I have a friend who still teaches group fitness, and I have some bands that are still, pliable and they're still flexible. So I'm going to give them to her. And she does travel, and she has small apparatus. So I'm like, that is so just think about it. So now think about the things that you have, the things that you're not using. Now, occasionally, I go through closets, whether it's for my shoes or whether it's for my clothes, and I'm constantly pulling stuff out. I just pull stuff out. But if I buy something, I started this habit. One of our pastors had us to do this. This has been probably more than 20 years. And he said that, one, if you're blessed, of course, be grateful that you're blessed with certain things. But he said, whenever you buy something, go and put it near your closet to compare it to what you already have. Now, if it's something that you already have, take it back. If it's something that you don't have, take something out. Take something out that you haven't been wearing. And I've been doing that. That helps to keep me, helps to keep me from not overdoing it, when it comes to that. Those, clothes and stuff like that. I don't really buy a lot of stuff now because once we went into lockdown and we went virtual, I didn't need that. I didn't need the corporate stuff. It was so funny though. By the time we came back, because we didn't think we were going back. Child, I gave away so much stuff. My suits and stuff, I gave away so much. And after 18 months, do you know these people said come back? I'm like, can I wear some leggings? Cause I'm only down to a few suits. But I mean, because I had given away so much stuff. We were out for 18 months. And then they told us to come back. And I was like, I ain't bad. I'm not bad on new stuff. So I was just, wearing, I dressed them up, especially in the wintertime. Put my leggings on, put on a blazer, put my boots on. I mean, I was able to get away with it. But I'm like, how could you tell us to come back after 18 months and we giving you double and triple the work product? What? And we got to come back. But anyway, that's some people's job. I can't get into that. But just think about the number of things that you have that you really don't need. The way I taught my kids was to, of course it was a mother thing too, but to weigh out if it's a want or a need. I do my young people, kids that I mentor, well, young people that I mentor. I always say that. Ask yourself, is it a want or a need? Sometimes you're going to get what you want because you should be able to reward yourself, especially if you're working hard. You should be able to get what you want. But just in general, when you see stuff that like, ooh, it caught my eye, do you really need it? Or are you getting it because you want it? And I got evidence right here that I had some stuff that was working and now it's no longer working because I didn't use it. I didn't use it. So how many more, just think, had I given this stuff away, how many more people could have been helped by like what my clients were helped by had I just passed it on? So now I'm passing it on because now when I teach classes, when I teach my Pilates classes, I even, had some merchandise, some branded merchandise, and I'm like clearing out my inventory at this point. I just did that recently at a class. I'm not even carrying that stuff around. I still got my circles, my magic circles. I mean, those are not, I've only had them for maybe 2, maybe 3 years, something like that. So I may, travel with something like that. But for the most part, I mean, I was mats. I done gave away so many mats. I mean, I still have some that can accommodate, a whole class. I was carrying mats and all that. And I'm thinking, I'm getting too old to be carrying all this stuff around. People can bring their own stuff. I'm bringing cases of water. I'm bringing snacks. I'm bringing mats. Like, look here. It's a lot going on in this situation. And I don't do a lot of in-person classes. So you live in San Diego. I'm in the Midwest. Welcome me in San Diego. I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Illinois. I'm in Illinois. Don't pronounce the S. Illinois is how you pronounce it. Illinois. Even though we put S's on some names, we say all these. What going on? What going on, Garen? What going on? So I'm guessing you're Caribbean. You're from the Caribbean. But just think. So when you go back to your closet, you go to your closets or your pantries. Now, food, I don't have an issue with food. I'm looking for some expired stuff. I don't want no expired stuff. Oh, no. I got to get that out. Now, that's one of them things. That's one of my ticks. Or do they call them icks? You call them ticks or icks? Yeah, I don't want no, yeah, man. Well, yeah, what Caribbean country? What Caribbean country are you from? Is somebody requesting to come up? Who's requesting to come up? Okay, House of Flow, come on in, girl. Come on in. Come on in. Tubers, I hope you can hear her. Jamaica, what's up, Jamaica? Tubers, I hope you can hear her. Hey, Tashi. What's going on, House of Flow? Can you hear me? House of Flow Wellness, can you hear me? Thank you so much for getting your heart in, Tashi. Did she make a mistake? House of Flow Wellness, request again if you made a mistake. Because you got a lot of background. I sound far away? Because I'm outside. Okay, I'll disconnect you. Because I'm outside. But I had somebody in my box too. No worries. Because I'm outside. Tashi, I'm outside. So just think about that. Think about that in terms of, a lot of times we won't think about it as a part of your self-care, but that becomes, when we were on lockdown, our psyche was tested to the infinitum power. Psychologically, where we were and how we were balancing, even if you did not have any, mental or psychological challenges before that lockdown. So you got happy Sunday. Yep, I am well. Oh, you're talking to Tashi. Okay. But when you think about where we were when we went on lockdown, so you okay, yep, no worries. So when you think about where we went psychologically, we came out of that thing as different beings, like down to our DNA. That shock and that fear that covered the world was contagious in the respect that it was kind of hard to escape. Now, some people may have said something up front, but we're feeling something else in the back. But just as a majority, you all talking to each other. So the majority of people were able to express that this ain't right, like this doesn't feel good, like what are we going to do? And then the information, there was an information overload, and there was confusion, and there were mixed messages. There was a lot going on. So psychologically and physiologically, because if your anxiety is that high, it's going to impact you physically. It's definitely going to impact you physically. So physically, we came out of that thing as different beings. And some people, unfortunately, if they did, develop the condition, I don't know if I can say it on here, but if they did develop that condition, are long haulers now. And so they have things that are still going on with them that happened back in 2020. So when we think about that, we had to jumpstart, for some of us, jumpstart our self-care, or even find out what self-care was. Like, how do I take care of myself in this situation? Because it was one of those, every man for himself, every woman, even every kid, for himself, because there was a lot that we didn't know about, and we were trying to figure it out with mixed messages. There was a lot going on. So some of us had to get into a space of, I gotta find something. There's only 3 things I know how to do when it comes to taking care of myself, my self-care. I gotta learn how to do this, or else I'm gonna lose it. Like, I'm really, really gonna lose it. I mean, I was one of the ones, I wasn't even trying to go outside, like, for real. Because I thought stuff was dropping off the trees. And I'm thinking, okay. Then I had to go back to science, like my basic science, 5th grade science, 6th grade science. I mean, because I love science. I had to go back to that. Understand the characteristics of, and understand the transmission of, different diseases, whether they're airborne, whether they're bloodborne, I mean, I had to go really, really far back and not look at any public media for a while to calm myself down, to say, okay, well, if it's in the droplets, if it's in the air, if it's like, this is how if it's dropping out the sky, like, there are some things, because, there's been some nuclear stuff that's been, dropped on people. Yeah, that's something you can't avoid. But when you're understanding the dynamics of it and knowing this has been here before, then you have to look at history. Has this ever happened before? Well, actually, yeah. It just wasn't named that. It wasn't named that. Go back and look at, what happened, when the first pandemic, flu pandemic came through. A lot of people were lost. And when I started seeing those pictures, those old, over 100 years old, when you start seeing those pictures, when they had the face coverings, they had the babies, with their face coverings, and I'm like, okay, so how did they get out of this? What happened? I had to start looking at what happened when it happened before. What happened? Can we come out of this? Can we survive? Yeah, you can. So then that's when you start to build your self-care arsenal, your self-care toolkit, your self-care backpack. You start to build that so that you can take care of yourself. I know herbs, right? I know flowers, I know not all flowers, I'm just saying, but especially the ones in general, there's like probably a good group of 10, maybe even more, but just those essential oils or plants that work. Like, we know work. We have, okay, I gotta say, for entertainment purposes only, and at least in America, our FDA, okay, I gotta be real, okay, how am I gonna say this? Our people who be looking over our medicines and our food kind of let a lot of stuff in, okay, allegedly can kind of let, why are you laughing at me, Arlene? I'm trying to get my words right so they don't kick me off, but it just be a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on that happens, and it's okay, but then when the people come up with something natural, then they say, you got to be careful with that. So for me, that's confusing, right? Because it isn't, and I'm not saying everything natural, is good for you, because there are some things, and, shout out to our cool Offset. She kind of helped me think about this. This was years ago when people were talking about the whole vegan, when the veganism was exploding and people wanted to, can I say exploding? Anyway, was becoming more popular, and people were like, they want this vegan stuff. And what she said was, don't worry about if it's vegan or not, worry about if it's toxic. She said, because tar is vegan, but are you going to eat tar? No, you're not. So you got to worry about the toxicity of things. Yeah, but anyway, so we have some bodies that's looking over some things that allow a lot of stuff to come through. That in other countries, if you go to another country, so natural will cut into their money. Yes, First Lady Roz, yes. Natural will cut into their money. And they munyon. I got to say munyon. I don't know what words I can say on here, y'all. So if I get kicked off, y'all know that's why. Because TT be hating. They be hating. But yes, it'll cut in, and that's exactly why. It'll cut. When you go back to that simple stuff, because if you go, like I said, into another country, especially tropical countries, Caribbean countries, because that stuff is fresh. I mean, there's not a lot of preservatives, if there are any. Like, they don't have the need to do a lot of the things that we would have to do, over in, different countries where things have to be refrigerated. So you're talking about the transport. So they got to listen to this. They take the nutrients out of the natural item. They fortify it and then put back what they done took out so it can last for 10 years and then you're supposed to eat it. But anyway, y'all don't get rid of me. So, okay, yes, welcome in. So when you think about stuff like that, we got a lot of stuff that is just like literally, like right in your backyard, like literally in your backyard, that can help you but we have it in our brains. So think about our commercials. Again, I'm gonna say this. I'm talking about America. I don't know about, and I'll say something about another country too that I did ask somebody about. But that's in our brain. You can take this for your headache. Now, your eyeball might pop out. Your left toe may turn green. Your right shoulder may start to tweak, but then your head won't be hurting. And they say it so fast that we get used to it, and they put songs behind it, and we sit up there singing the song to go with it. So you said healing is in the earth. Yes, God created it from the Garden of Eden. You laughing, Arlene? So you know what? So answer that for me from the UK, because I did ask somebody in Ghana. So you say you holler, but I did ask somebody in Ghana, and First Lady Roz, this was Morgan who I asked about in Ghana. What I asked her was, what is the messaging around health, wellness, dieting, food? And I just wanted to know, because we have a lot of commercials that's always talking about we're going to lose weight for this, and like the whole beauty standards. And she said when it comes to food, like like dieting, they don't have that. Like that's not in the advertisement. And I found that like amazing. Like she was like, no, nobody is convincing anybody to go eat some vegetables, because that's just what they have. Like the vegetables are there, like you can't say but it's convincing you of eating something that was in a can or that was in a box, but not necessarily something fresh. So think about, I'm again, can I have to say allegedly or entertainment purposes, whatever. TT, don't cut me off. But when you think about our messaging here, is their lifestyle. Exactly, that's what she said. It is their lifestyle. Okay, so in the UK, so you have a lot of taxes on bad foods. Also, sugar tax on everything that has sugar. Do you know they wanted to, can I say the word crucify? Somebody here in Illinois. Y'all already know, I ain't gonna say her name, but when they was calling her sugar mama. So if y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't say her name, but they were so upset when she increased the sugar tax on the pops and stuff. They were so upset with her. So hola. Thank you so much for the follow. Is that Ella? Thank you so much, Ella. But yeah, so y'all got sugar taxes. Y'all heard that in the UK? Ella, you might have to translate. I don't know if there's a translate button. So there's a sugar tax in the UK. You want all that sugar stuff. Okay, good vibes, natural face. Thank you so much, Marcel. Thank you so much. But people get upset. Now here, the arches, the golden arches, some years ago. So First Lady Roz, I don't know if you're still in here, but I don't know if you remember. There was this big thing, like where consumers wanted to basically just burn the places down. The arches, the golden arches. They were doing, and I'm not saying go support them or not support them. I'm just saying this is a big deal some years ago. They were mixing the meat, but they were mixing the meat with soy products. And the people were losing it, right? The people were losing it. So, hey, Auntie Josie. So the people were losing it about that because they were saying that they didn't want that, right? I ain't saying that soy is right. What I'm saying is they were trying to come up with something. So no sugar tax, no smoking tax. Oh, you pay more to eat junk in the UK? Okay. Thank you so much. Let me pin you on this. So you go over to the UK, you trying to eat that junk. They ain't gonna, see? They're not even letting me pin you. I got reply, translate, mark viewer, mute account, block, and report. Girl, they won't even let me pin you. I'm going to read it. Okay, no, I ain't going to read it. Y'all read what she said. They won't let me pin you, Arlene. Oh, so we got England. They didn't even give me a choice to pin you. You see how they be doing? They ain't right. Hey, England, I got England over. So England, tell me what happens with food that is not the healthiest. So in the UK, there's a sugar tax, smoking tax. So if you're trying to do something that's not healthy, you get taxes. So this is interesting. And Ghana doesn't have the advertisement that we have in terms of like dieting. They don't have that. This is so interesting. So in the UK, they don't use additive. Right. So that's what I was going to say too. So about going to other countries, the same foods that we may see here, or the cereals, those morning cereals, like they coloring, if it's something red, it ain't that FD red number 5 or whatever. It's like beets, like they're coloring it with beets, or they have like green peas, like they're actually coloring it with food. They're not making up stuff. So this is Anduisa. I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher your name. But hey, welcome in. Yeah, this is interesting. So England, if you're still here, so Tyler. So let me know what happens in London. So are sugary foods promoted or accepted or looked down upon? This is so interesting. This is so interesting. You from Leeds? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know, Leeds. Like, what happens? Do you all have extra taxes on your things? So your aunt came to the UK from the US and wondering why we don't refrigerate eggs. You know what? That's a big thing. That is a big. So somebody from the country, tell me that. So yeah. So yep. So you refrigerate eggs. So I'm absolutely correct. You live and visit London for the past 2 years. Yes. 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 Do eggs need refrigeration? I'm just saying. Now my grandmama, my granddaddy had chickens, and I don't remember no eggs being in the refrigerator. Auntie Josie, tell me if were did she ever refrigerate eggs? I just don't remember. I remember them coming out of the coop. So did she ever refrigerate eggs? And I just remember granddaddy cooking. So I don't remember. I was a kid. She did refrigerate eggs from the coop. So let me know. So you're in Dudley at the moment. Okay. This is so interesting. So you have to. What you have to look at too is when you go back, take everything back to the basics. What did they do before refrigeration? Like, how do people eat? How do people eat? Inquiring minds want to know. How do people eat? How do people eat? They still had to eat. People been eating a long time. So what did they do before they could preserve stuff? Chemically preserved, not naturally. So I'm not talking about when they, put the salt and the cheesecloths and they smoke the meats and that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about, in terms of putting something in the refrigerator or putting something, on the shelf in the pantry. That's interesting. Very interesting. How did people eat? Oh, she washed them and then refrigerated them. Okay. Yes, I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember the refrigerator. I remember going into the coop though to get the eggs. So that's interesting. So Arlene, so do they sell the eggs like by the dozen in the UK? So there's some things you can't buy here from the US because of the ingredients. Girl, they ain't gonna let me pin that. Y'all hear what she said? In the UK, it's some stuff they can't even buy from the US because the ingredients are banned. What? Allegedly. I got to say, allegedly. What? That makes you, hey, Tiffany Marie, that makes you wonder. So when you're trying to do your best and you're trying to eat your healthiest, now what I will say, at least again, here where we are, in the U.S., so the eggs are on the shelf in the store. I've seen that. Yeah, eggs on the shelf in the store. We just came back from Bali, and they had stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. Can I say stacks? I don't know. TT, don't kick me off, TT. But they had stacks and stacks and stacks of eggs. So the UK is a healthy country, yes. And in Belize, I ain't seen no eggs in them refrigerators. I'm just saying. So everything's supposed to be fresh. So you can't have sodas from the US and the UK because of all the bad chemicals in it. We have foreign food aisles in the shop. Lucky Charms in the foreign food item. Y'all, oh my God, I'm loving this. Okay, America, y'all listen up. Y'all see what them people giving us. Ooh. So why do we refrigerate eggs? I don't know. they programming us over here, girl. They programming us. But that's why I like to, and then even if I'm not visiting the country, I do like, because I'll be watching on YouTube too, on the tube. I watch on the tube like the life, and I'll just put like the daily life in like whatever country I'm interested in. Oh, that is so good. So you have an international. That's what they just said. That's what Tyler just said. It's an international aisle, so you know not to go down that aisle. Is that what you're saying? Y'all don't go down the international aisle to get all the chemicals. Okay, allegedly. That's what it is. So you may actually do content on. Thank you. Oh, you know what? How about we do this? So we need to find a time that's good, and we can co-host. What time is it for you there now? Because we can even co-host on one of these self-care suites. Can we do that? You want to co-host? And then you can go and I go to our grocery store. Oh, you want to do that? Girl, 22. How many numbers I got to add? It's late then. It's late at night. Okay, you have foreign. 10 at night. Okay, Tyler says 10 at. Okay, that's late. Okay, yeah, Tyler's on the UK on the tube. We're going to come up with a time. That's going to be good. And I'm actually going to plan and schedule that so we can advertise and everything. We're going to go to the grocery store. In the US and in the UK. Yeah. And I need to find a grocery store that ain't like the organic stores, just a regular grocery store. Okay, we can co-host on an earlier day. Okay, All right. It'll be a special time. So it'll be on a Sunday, so people will know it's still the self-care suite. We'll just do a different time. That's okay. Yeah, I can plan it. Yeah, that's gonna be so good. And we're gonna read the ingredient. They might kick us out. We're gonna do it anyway. We gotta keep saying allegedly. But this is what they had said. That's gonna be good. That is going excuse me. So on the tube and the talk, y'all put in the comments if you want to see something like that. So we're gonna go live. We're gonna co-host. So you said you'll go to Asada, used to be owned by, okay, the W people. Okay. So I got to find a comparable one because I don't mess with the WM folks. I'll find a comparable one. But the reason why I'm saying that, I don't want to go to an organic one because that's, there's a different intentionality behind the food that's in an organic store. I want to go to the store where, like, the general public has to go and find stuff. Yeah, we do. Y'all got one? Y'all got one? If y'all got Aldi, we can do that. Think there's some kind of inflatable. Tyler, ain't nothing trying to attack me. Okay. We're gonna do the comparison. Okay, so we're gonna do the ALDI store, y'all. So let me know in the comments if that's what y'all want to do. Oh, right here, Tyler. This is my hammock. I'm in my hammock. Is this what you're talking about? That's blowing behind me? This is my hammock. Yeah, Aldi UK. We're gonna do a versus. The Aldi UK and the Aldi US. Is this you, Tyler? Tell me. If this is you talking about that's blowing, this is I'm in my hammock. So the UK is 6 hours ahead of Central Time. Okay, no, it's my hammock. So Tyler, I'll let you know. So in the beginning of the year, I'm excited too. So in the beginning of the year, Tyler, what I said was I was going to, open up the self-care suite because people just need a place, a space, and a time to go. Even if you have no idea what you're doing for the week, we come in here and we exchange these ideas, about what we can do to better our self-care. Sunday has always been my chill day. And this is what I be doing in the summertime on Sundays, just laying out in my hammock. So I'm like, okay, let me just do some stuff from the hammock. So sometimes I'm out walking, but I'm, for the last month, I've been in the hammock. So I just came back to my hammock. And so I agreed to do it until the end of the year. Now, will it go into next year or not? I don't know. But I'm excited about this grocery store thing. So Tyler, I hope you come back. I don't know if you subscribe to me on the tube, but I'll put the announcement on there as well when we're going to do the comparison. I'm excited to see the kind of stuff that the people allegedly is letting in our food. That's going to be so interesting. That's going to be so y'all tell me down in the chat. I got some hearts over here. Do you want to see that? You want to see the verses? All the UK, all the US. All the UK, all the US. Yes. We're going to do it. And that goes for the makeup too. See, people be thinking that ELF brand. Ooh, can I say that? Yeah, I think I can. But anyway, that certain brand. But when you look at the ingredients with that they put in that brand, and you look at one of the high-end brands, in terms of being healthier for you, that brand that you just pulled off the little package will run rings around that high-end brand that you got to go behind the counter and you have to have the makeup girl to help you and all. That brand will run rings around it because they have those, they don't even have to label it organic. They don't have to label it vegan. They just don't put the stuff in their product, right? We get caught up on the labels, at least over here in the US. Y'all help me if you're from another country. If they get caught up on, on the brands or on the labels and that kind of stuff, we are the ones that's being allegedly psychologically gambled with in our brains, And then it's put in small messages, small doses. That's how you get a person to build their tolerance for whatever it is, just like the whole addictive, the addictive energy that's going around, what's happening with these social media apps, and then that whole likability. So my God, on the side of your whole street. Yeah, we got a extra space. I guess you can say that, an extra space. Yeah. So the neighbors back there, they've been pretty quiet, but they had like a party, and I was like, oh, they got a lot of people over there. It wasn't bad though. It wasn't a bad thing, but usually it's pretty quiet. We used to have someone, he was an older gentleman. He was like probably in his 90s, like he was in it. So I'm not sure if, his grandson came and got him or not, but it was, still pretty quiet. So that was my first time seeing, action back there. But yeah, so we do have, we do some greenery. I like it though, and I like it empty. I done pulled so much stuff out of the yard. I just don't. The maintenance and all that kind of stuff. I want it to look like just I'm going to the park. So I don't want a lot of stuff in there. But thank you so much, Tyler. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for our self-care suite versus Aldi UK versus Aldi US. So y'all let us know. So if you see when we start posting the videos, y'all let us wellness. So I'm a Pilates teacher, Tyler. I'm a Pilates teacher, but then I also do this, right? I do self-care. I don't even want to call them seminars, self-care conversations. I work with one group. There's a group of community healthcare workers, but then people hire me individually for certain groups. It could be for a church. It could be for a girlfriend's group. It could be for a school. It could be for a book club, like different people that just want, to explore other avenues for self-care. Because sometimes we can just get caught up and think self-care is like, I got to go to a spa. I like to find those creative ways, like just walking along the beach, right? You walk along the beach, you get immersed in that blue space. At least for me, I do know scientifically, allegedly, blue space does tap into our bodies on so many different levels. Mongolia, hey, welcome in. So just getting out or going, walking out into nature, and then just understanding being in those spaces. Some people are fearful of going like into the woods, They think it's only for a certain population, and it's not, because we all should be able to benefit, just from being, and sometimes just standing outside. So I even encourage people to start with your local park. Like, you don't really have to go way, way, way out into the woods. Start with your local park just to get in some green space and see how you feel. Sit on the bench, for a while. Then walk around. If there's a track or if there's a trail, walk around that. So wait, so the sun is moving over here. So let me do there you go. Tilt my tubers. Start with that. We have a forest preserve. I don't know if it's called forest preserves everywhere, like around the country, but we have what's called a forest preserves. And in Illinois, or in Cook County, not Illinois. Rewind. In Cook County, we have one of the largest in the entire country. We're like in the top 5, if not the top 3. We got 70 or 75,000 acres of green spaces of forest reserve. So you can start with something small. You look up the trails. Look up rails to trails. They are old train railways that they have now turned into trails to go through these different green spaces. Because you know anything about riding a train, they generally run through like the back of whatever the location is. It's like some run through cities, but for the most part, they run around the perimeter. So rails to trails are train routes that are no longer in use. So if you look up rails to trails, go for one that's short. There are some that's like a mile in, a mile back, or some that do a loop. It may be 2 or 3 miles. So try something like that. It's just kind of, getting you a little bit more used to being out in those green spaces. But this is just what I believe. This is my belief. Again, I got to say, for entertainment purposes only. Once you start to understand and once you start to benefit from being out in green spaces or in blue spaces, it's nothing like it. It is nothing like it. And my accent, Chicago raised me. You love my accent. It's a Chicago accent. But my people from the South. My daddy from Mississippi, my mama from Alabama. But that's Chicago. That's all Chicago South side. But once you start getting out into some green and blue spaces, there's like an itch or a craving. Like, I need to get out, and then you want to go and clear your head. I like nature's soundtrack. For one, I just like hearing what's, going on. If the birds are up, but them cicadas, that's another story. I just be trying to find them because they make so much noise and you don't ever see them. Like, where are you? Them cicadas, But, to get some fresh air, blown on your skin, to get the sun, to get some vitamin D. Dibble, dab in it, dally in it, a little bit at a time. You can go with people, you can go alone. I prefer solo hikes. That's just me. I will go with groups. But if I'm going with a group, chances are I've already done my solo stuff beforehand because I just like it. I like being, immersed in nature. I call it nature's soundtrack. I like hearing that. Cape Town, okay, all right. Oh, Chapeltown, UK. So I like, that. So that's one thing that you can do for self-care. Just getting out, getting into some green spaces or some blue spaces. So blue spaces are, so I know you love solo too. Blue spaces are technically larger bodies of water where you can see the blue. But you can put lakes in there. I mean, lakes can kind of go in there because it's just water. It's water. But the blue spaces are technically those larger ones. So you're talking about the seas, and the oceans. But we have, like we have in Chicago, we have Lake Michigan. People be coming here playing with her, and Lake Michigan don't play like that. I'm just saying. But Lake Michigan, geographically, and was it topically? Is that what they call it? Topographically and geographically, Lake Michigan is a lake. From the characteristics, it's a lake. But the behavior is of an ocean. So people don't understand that because it's in the city. They're thinking, oh, I'm going to, it's an a bustling, hustling, bustling urban environment. But our Lake Michigan, don't play. Don't play with Lake Michigan. Don't play with Lake Michigan. I can't stress that enough. Don't be coming here trying to be under them substances, influencing them substances, and you get out there on Lake Michigan, because, the Coast Guard can try to come get you, but the water black. At night, you be out there on them boats, and the water black. That's why it takes them so long, and people don't understand it. People get frustrated. Well, how come the emergency... First of all, it was black. They got equipment. They can go down there, but it's black. And then there are spaces and, places underneath that water. You got undercurrents. You got rip current. It acts like an ocean. So I ain't mean to go off on that tangent, but I'm just want to let you know. People come. It's one of the most beautiful bodies of water ever. I'm going to say that, Lake Michigan, but it's nothing to play with. Go out there in the daytime. Be safe. Wear your jacket. Somebody say you look like a nerd. You're going to be a nerd. That's going to come back. I'm just saying, be the nerd. You bling it out, and that's what you want to do. Put some flowers on it, whatever you want to do, but have you a jacket, somewhere handy, or go with a captain, a licensed captain that you out there with. If you decide to get on the boat, like if you doing, one of the tour boats, it's okay. It's okay if Cousin Ray Ray came up on some stuff and got a chance to get a boat. Tell Cousin Ray Ray save a few more dollars, then hire a captain, like an actual captain, to guide that boat. But that's just, that's just me. That's just my safety tip for you if you decide to come and you want to hang out on Lake Michigan. If you're not on an actual tour boat, or an adventure boat that has been licensed, by the city, then yeah, I would say, make sure that, whoever you're going out with, or just put your vest on. I'm just saying, just be the weird one. That's okay, be the weird one, but you'll be the weird one that'll come back. It'll come back. So yeah, so get out into your blue spaces, get out into your green spaces. Sometimes, like for me, laying right here in this hammock, that's self-care. Taking a nap, and I've gotten into some naps. Then when I wake up, have you ever did this? When you wake up and like the sun is at a certain space, and if you look at your clock, it's like 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is real good for this at certain times of the year. You don't know if it's 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. because that sleep was that good. I be doing that sometimes. I wake up out here, just be knocked out, just laying in my hammock, just out here chilling. So taking naps, just cooling out, or just sitting in stillness. And every time you're still doesn't mean you're silent, and it doesn't mean you're not doing anything. You're just allowing your mind to relax. You're allowing, your brain to not have to do so much work. Our society, the way it's going, and especially with everybody being up 24/7, like people just be up. Somebody be up all the time. You get up and open up a social media app, somebody is learning how to relax. Somebody is up. No matter what. I come from a space and time. I'm Gen X, so I'm a 60s baby raised in the 70s and 80s. Where the TV used to go off and that little bar used to go, it was like a bar to go across the top and the little lines to go down. Look, we had black and white. I'm just saying. Before we had color, I remember black and white TVs. Before we got color TVs. I'm just saying. So that's where I go. And then when that flag come on there at night and they be telling you it's time for you to go to bed, yeah, there wasn't nothing on. But now it's like, I don't even know how many channels there are that exist. We ain't had that many channels. What you looking for? You ain't had that much stuff, to look at. But now it's just from all over. In a way, it's good. So that's right. Yeah, black and white, girl. Listen, we sure did have the black and white, and the knob that you got to turn. I'm just saying, that it wasn't no remote. It was like you got to get up and go and turn. That's what we was the remotes. Them Gen X babies, probably some boomers too. But yeah, but I know we was the remotes. Your mom or your daddy called you in there, come turn the TV. You like, really? Really, you called me all the way in here to come turn the TV? Yeah, the kids was the remotes back then, When we grew up, we was the actual remotes to come and turn the channels. But I'm having a good time talking to you all, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited about our verses. But today we talked about, so I think I'm going to wrap up. So we've been on here for like an hour and 15 minutes. But I do want to wrap up, but I am going to go back over some stuff for people who just joined. So we talked about Well, one, what we just talked about, the getting out in nature in the green and blue spaces, also about finding some synergy in your life. If you want to call it balance, you can call it balance, but I just shared that the group that I was working with that helped me to come up with a different concept in terms of identifying what felt better or what felt like a more accurate description of what we're trying to do with this whole work life, family life balance. Like we're trying to balance these things. Balancing for me, the connotation is something has to stand still, right? That's how you get balance. Balancing does not move. Like it's moving while you're trying to get balance. But if you find balance, that means nothing is moving. So I decided to go with synergy, because with synergy, it means sometimes one is down, one is up. Sometimes one is forward, one is back. But things are constantly moving and you're not being burned out by any one thing, or you're not being stagnant. Like you always have that opportunity or that room to grow. So I like synergy. I mean, I had a couple people who said that made more sense for what they were striving for. So I say synergy. I understand when people say they're trying to get balance. My whole work-life balance or my food, sleep balance. And, like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I get it. I understand. But I just want to share that with you. That's a strategy, a self-care strategy, just to have you to think about things differently when it comes to trying to get things to just move in like some kind of concerted fashion, just like a dance, when you're doing the samba, the ramba, what's the one I like on Dancing with the Stars? It'll come back to me. The one, it ain't the waltz. God, what's the one? It's gonna come to me. But anyway, like a dance. So somebody got to step forward while somebody step back, or somebody step left while somebody step right. I mean, that's how you get the synergy in the dance. So is that balance? I don't identify it as that, at least not anymore, because I have a different concept of what is doing. Not the tango, the other one. Paso doble. Yeah, the paso. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Because Dancing with the Stars, it's the paso doble, Arlene. Look up Lil' Kim. Look at her paso dance. I'm like, Lil' Kim should have went further. I was upset, when she. But look up her paso doble. Yeah, look up that. It was good. It was good. So we talked about that, the synergy. But then I brought my stuff. Like the preacher be coming to church with stuff. But this is what we talked about. So if you just come in here, we talked about having something that was so useful before, and now it no longer has that same usability. And in fact, it ain't even close to it. And I use these bands. So these are some resistance bands that I actually used to use in classes that I taught. I would bring bands with me. Ooh, here go another crunchy part. Look at that. Let me show y'all. Yeah, look at that. See that? All that's not supposed to be happening in the band. Is it gonna pop? Okay, I don't want to pull it too. See that? It's crunching. You see that? This should not be happening with this band. So what was happening here? I no longer teach group fitness classes the way I used to teach them. With the resistance training and bands and stuff, and I no longer carry equipment with me. So these were just hanging in my gym, hanging towards the back. I was going through some stuff to see, which bands I was going to start using. This is the one that just broke. It's this one I pulled. Okay, look. Y'all see that? See that? Your resistance band shouldn't do that. But these bands were helping me to help other people to get stronger. But now, I still know what I know. I can still share that information with people. But if I pulled out these bands to help assist them to get to where I need them to get to, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Y'all saw that the band just broke. The band just broke. Look at that. Okay. Look at that. So at this point, they're not useful. Okay, I'm trying not to. You see it, but you see what's happening there? Your resistance bands are here to provide you with some additional assistance in order for you to get stronger. These bands ain't gonna do that. So I just wanted to bring them to talk about them, excuse me, y'all, on the self-care suite, because we have to be mindful of those things that we use to help us to become, let's just say, better stewards over our mind, body, and soul, right? What are we using? What strategies are we using? And sometimes, and that's why we say here in the self-care suite, we share useful, sustainable, low-cost or no-cost self-care strategies. So sometimes it won't even cost you whatever these bands cost. Sometimes you can incorporate some self-care strategies in your life, like going out on a walk. If you go out on a nature walk or you walk along the beach, that's a no-cost strategy. I mean, other than like if you have to drive to it, but for the most part, if you go into your neighborhood park or something like that, that would be a no-cost strategy. Another no-cost strategy would be taking a nap or resting, like you said, First Lady Roz, just taking a rest. Sometimes it might not be sleeping. Some people have, I'm going to say, psychological resistance to meditation, because depending on what arena they're coming from, like just mentally what arena they're coming from, the word meditation changes into something else. Like, like they're like, oh, I'm not doing that. That's of the devil. That's of the devil. No, prayer is a form of meditation, right? You talking to God, you getting in the still space and it's just you and God communing. That's a form of meditation. Meditation just means slowing your mind down enough to focus. In a nutshell, you can put a lot of other definitions on it, but in a nutshell, you want to slow your mind down enough to focus, to be mindful. And to be mindful is just to be aware of what's going on in your environment. So when it comes to meditation, some people are not able to tap into meditation because of the word. So for that situation, what I would say is, I'm trying to adjust my feet in here. So what I would say to that is, start with taking a nap. Start with taking a nap. Just rest your mind, rest your body enough that you can actually take a nap. If you start with that, and then start with thinking about one thing to focus on, right? One thing to focus on. That's being mindful. That's a form of meditation. Now, I went to this meditation class. Shout out to Coach Mo. I don't know if you're on here, but her name is Monique Roberson. You can look at Monique Spence Roberson or Monique Roberson or Coach Mo. She's excellent. I went to a meditation class that she had, and she was like breaking meditation down and just giving some strategies. And this is one strategy that I do share, but I always give her credit. I don't be out there stealing people's stuff now. Now, if I can't remember somebody's name, if I went somewhere, I do say it was from a speaker, at a certain event. But anyway, so Coach Mo had us to count from 100 down to number 1. And you couldn't miss a number. So you couldn't say like 99, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 89, you couldn't do that. Like you have to say 99, 98, 97, 96. And if you miss the number or if you dozed off, you start off at 100 again. So we're thinking like, okay, thank you so much, Arlene, for welcoming people in. So you thinking that's easy, right? We thinking, okay, like I think the first time I did it, it may have taken me 3 tries. I can do it now. But what she was teaching us how to do is to train your brain to stay focused on that one thing. Because falling asleep, one, you could be exhausted because we do be doing a lot. We be doing a lot of things. You could be exhausted. And when your brain starts to slow down, your body was like, yeah, buddy, I'm about to get some sleep. And then that's how you fell asleep. That could be one. Another could be that you got distracted because you started thinking about something else. And when you thought about you should have been counting, you went back and you don't remember what number you were on. So I can do it now. I can do it now. And sometimes, I fall asleep. I've been falling asleep depending on what I've been doing. But that first time I was like, I counted to 100. I'm like, okay. And she was like, okay. She's funny though. You just look up Coach Mo. But that was such a good strategy. I want y'all to try that. Just let me know. Let me know if that works for you or how it worked out for you. So how many times have you been? Okay. So T-Rex, we talking about self-care and okay, we're gonna see what happens. Okay. That's strike one. Strike one. I got some buttons I got over here on the tube. Don't mess with me, y'all. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. I got some buttons. So T-Rex, you got strike one. Come on back up in here. Come on back up in here. But I want y'all to try that. Try counting from 100 to the number 1. Don't say it aloud. Oh, that's the other part, because we were all in a group, so we couldn't say it aloud. You have to say it in your mind, right? So that's another challenge, because of course you say it out loud, you're going to hear yourself. That's another form of communication. Thank you so much for welcoming the people in. Thank you so much, Arlene. Thank you all for joining. But that's the self-care strategy. I want y'all to let me know. Let me know how it worked out for you. But for me, it was good. So like I said, that very first time I did it, I think it took me 3 tries to get it. But I had to remove distractions. And one of the tries, for sure, I went to sleep. That much I do know. The other one, I think I just got distracted by something. But yeah, that's what she explained to us, that generally that's what's happening. Like even you're exhausted. Thank you so much, you all, for coming in. So that's Low Key. That's Miss Jackson. Pilates with Ashlyn. You are welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And y'all, King Didi. Hey, y'all, King Didi. Oh, I thought that was somebody coming back here. Like, you don't be coming back here. Don't be coming back here. So y'all try that. So that's the self-care strategy that I want you to try. So take from this what you can, implement into your life. See how it works out. Let me know. Tag me if you did something. So say for instance, if you went out and did something that you normally wouldn't do and you got it from here, just tag me in it. Just tag me in it, because that's what we want to do. We want to share and share it with somebody. This is our purpose and our point for being here. We want to share these strategies. Or if you had something that you tried and was like, you know what? That just didn't work out for me, but it seemed to be, beneficial for some other people, or you can just try it out. That's okay too, because not everything works out for everybody. And then also, not everything that you do is going to work out for you forever. Sometimes you have some things that work for you at a certain place or a certain space or a certain season in your life that is just, no longer working. And it's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. It's just, that's the season. That's the season that, you have gone through. Just think about your life. In your 20s, your knees was able to do a whole lot more than they do in your 50s. I'm just saying. That's just scientific. That's just biology. Sure, we want to be vibrant. We want to make sure that we're still, getting some movement in. But the biology of it is, when your bones get older, your bones get older. That's just what happens. You laugh, but it's true. Right. That's just what happens with your body. And then we have to come to a place where we're not so resistant to life or resistant to living, but we live in a society, at least over here in America, but I just think, maybe even, some other parts of the world, but we live in a society where, it ain't all over, but it's in a lot of places in the world, but in the society where we are, where youth is promoted over, I'm even going to say wisdom, like it's just to look young, and to be young, and I want to go back to my youth. Well, child, honey, in my 20s and 30s, I had some bills that I don't have now. I ain't trying to go back there. I'm just saying. And there were some things or some freedoms that I didn't have, then. And I'm enjoying it. So I'm learning to embrace whatever chapter that I'm in. And yeah, there are some things, like I said, your knees, give me my 20-year-old knees back, I'm just saying, but there are some things that were useful at a certain space or a certain season in your life that are not useful at this time. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's horrible or they're trash now. They're just not useful for the season that you're in right now. So understand that. If you understand that, it can, you can embrace your life and be able to live your life. I don't like to say that life is short, but I will say that life is precious. Life is too precious. It's good. And then look at your life as an opportunity for you to be your best self. You don't have to go on these long, lavish vacations in order to live a good life or to have a good day. A good day could be just live. Wash your clothes, you folded your clothes, and you put them all up. That's a good day. Today was a good day. You can put an ice cube after that. That's a good day. That's a good day. Today was a good day. Put on ice cube out there. You go there. Put on. Today was a good day. Wash them clothes, fold them clothes, and put them all up in the same day. And if you iron, because some people still into ironing, iron your stuff too. Iron all of it. So you just being happy from within. Yes. And you know what that is, First Lady Roz? That's pure joy. That's joy. That's what we want to strive for. We want to strive for joy. Joy is what comes from you and comes out. Happiness can be controlled by certain situations or certain people. You got to remember that. Look at the two. Look at the two. But that joy, and joy doesn't mean you don't have problems. People who have joy have problems, but they choose to get the best out of the life that they're living in that particular day. You see some people who have gone through some of the most horrendous things and they come out. Look at a lot of our entertainers. A lot of our entertainers have had some horrible things happen to them. Though the ones who can sing, or the ones, who can act, or write, like those sorts of things could like break a person or make a person no longer want to be here, but they choose to get it out in another form. And a lot of times we don't even realize that this was pain that birthed whatever it is that was going on with them, but then they had to choose to pull from what was eating at them or what was pulling them into that dark place. And they had to navigate, to be able to just live. Because if you stay in those dark places, a lot of things don't grow. A lot of things don't grow in dark places. I'm not going to say nothing grows, because some things do need darkness, to grow. But a lot of times, you're not able to thrive, as you would if you would Coming to the light. I'm just saying, coming to the light. Think about the bamboo. If you know about how bamboo trees are, I just love bamboo. But how bamboo trees are, they stay underground for a long time. 5 years, 6 years. I don't know if any of them stay down there 10. They might, but they stay underground a long time. Okay, let's talk. I'm not really sure if you don't understand that you have come into a live of where we are talking. Strike one for let's talk. If you want to talk, come back. Come back if you want to talk. But with the bamboo, I'm going to use that. Because I'm going to give people some chances over here on the tube. That was strike one. But the bamboo is under the ground, growing, getting stronger, developing the roots, like everything that it needs, so that when you see that bamboo, and when it starts to go up, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. I don't know. So you all, I do need you to communicate clearly what it is you're saying. So you, my dear, got strike 1 and 2 at the same time. You got one more to go. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, so we're gonna wind down. So remember about things that once worked very well. So this is my example, and I just happen to be pulling my bands out today. This is my example. Things. Oh, a piece popped in my eye. Things that once worked out very well to help people to get stronger are now no longer useful because, and I'm taking the hit on this. I put them up on a rack behind some other equipment. The whole out of sight, out of mind thing kicked in, and I went back today, and they like, we don't work here no more. We don't work here no more. Okay, and now we got, you are in officially, boom, timeout. That was strike 3. You're out of here. Okay, yep, drinking some water is a good thing. This is Kenzie Lenz. Hey, welcome in. So we're about to sign out. So that's what you got. So your assignment is to try that meditation practice, and that is counting from backwards from 100 down to 1 without missing a number and without saying the numbers out loud. And be honest with yourself. You can let me know. You can tag me in it, send me an inbox message. But let's just see how that works. And that was good for Coach Mo to do that, because she took that word meditation out of it. Even though it was a meditation class, she gave us that strategy. She gave us an assignment to do so that we can understand how to, to steal our minds, like how to be mindful and to focus on one thing. And then you can go a little bit further into that. And then using that word meditation won't seem so odd or so uncomfortable. So that was just one. Hey, what's up, Tyler? What's up, Raider? So we're gonna sign out from here. So use the things you got. Who said that? James Brown? You got to use what you got to get what you want. You said, well, I started coaching in 2004. I was a cheer coach, and now I'm a wellness coach. But I started coaching in 2004. So how many years ago was that? A long time. It was a long time ago. Yep. In 2004, and I've been doing it ever since. So use them things, or pass them on to somebody else. Like the other resistance bands, I'm going to pass them on to a friend who I know, she's a group fitness instructor. She still takes equipment to her classes, so I'm going to pass them on to her, because she's going to be able to use them to help people to get stronger. So the ones that I was able to save, praise Jesus, I was able to save some of them. I'm going to pass them on, so I'm going to have them to be useful for someone else, to bless someone else with those. So look through your cabinets, your closets, your storage. Look at them storage bins, especially the ones that's not clear. Look at them storage bins and see what you got up in there. You might not even know. Start to pull some of that stuff out. When you bring something in, look in your closet or wherever you bringing it in. See if you already got it, because sometimes people be out there buying the same stuff because you like it, but you already got it in your closet. So don't just stick the stuff in there, right? Look and actually see, do you already have it? If you do, take it back. If you don't, pull something else out. So that's when we're gonna work on the synergy, not necessarily the balance. We're gonna work on the synergy of not being overloaded with things, with those material possessions, because that, feeds on another level too. There's nothing wrong with material possessions, but you have to start asking yourself, is this a want? Is this a need? And then why do I need it, right? Like, why do I need 17 pair of purple socks. I don't know. You just might. But if you can justify it, I'm just saying you might need 21 years. Okay, so thank you for the math. Thank you for the math. Yep, 21 years. So I've been coaching 21 years. So ask yourself that. Like, is it a want? Is it a need? And if it is a need, why do I need? Is it this amount or this particular item? And then we're going to do that meditation or that self-care strategy. Let's call it a self-care strategy first before we go a little bit further into meditation. On the no cost, go to the park, go to the forest reserve, walk along the beach. So it's a lot. We got a lot covered today. But I want to thank you all so much for coming into the self-care suite, for being so engaging. Thank you for all of the taps on the screen. And I learned something new about the tube. I got to go and study some more. So I got my emojis and my taps on the screen to have my live pushed out a little bit more on both platforms. And I greatly, greatly appreciate you all. So if you have not, oh yeah, and our battle. Hold up, how did I forget that? Our battle, we got not a battle, our verses. See, the people got me saying the B word. The B word, our verses. We're going to do a food versus. So if you just joining us, we're going to do a food versus with Aldi UK and Aldi US, the two grocery stores. So that's leveling the playing field. It's the same company, but let's see if there's any shenanigans, malarkey, and foolishness going on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do some comparison, and we're going to choose those same items. I am so excited, Arlene. I am so excited. We're going to choose. So we just have to get together so we can have our staple items, and then we'll do some viewer's choice. So we'll do like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 staple items, and then we'll do a viewer's choice, and then whatever they pick, then we'll go to that section. And we want to do things with labels. So that's what we want y'all to think about. We want to do items with labels because we can't really see, what's inside the fruit or what's inside the vegetables. We're looking for items with labels. So if you got your favorite product from that store, let us know. Let us know what your favorite product is, and we're going to let you know if it's the same ingredients in the UK as it is in the US. I'm excited. So once again, if you're just joining, I am Coach Robin Renee. I'm your hostess in the Self-Care Suite, and we meet here Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be a special time when we do the grocery store versus though, because the UK is on a different, we're not the UK. We're both on different time zones. So we're going to be synergistic. We're going to be synergistic and get a good time going for us to go to the grocery store. So this is where we come to kick off our shoes, to relax our feet, and discuss the many ways to wellness, because our financial challenges should not stop us from taking care of ourselves. So we should still have some form of self-care on a daily basis. And we're going to share useful, sustainable, low-cost, and no-cost self-care strategies. And we're going to be here. Okay, so here we go. You can't sleep addicted to YouTube videos, even you trying to sleep, like close my eyes for an hour. Yep. So let's talk. That's going to be your assignment too. So before you go down that rabbit hole on the tube, do that strategy. Counting from 100 backwards, and use every number, but you got to say it in your head. And then see how you feel afterwards, because you might end up getting you a good night's sleep. And then put yourself on a timer. You can also put yourself on a timer, because I get some nights where I be up depending on what I'm looking for, and I be up all night. Then I be seeing the sun like, oh Lord, I've been up all night. Some nights, but for the most part, depending on what I'm looking for, like I said, but I had to put those parameters, like this is the time you going to sleep. So I got a window of the hours that I need to be asleep. But if it's on the weekend, I may do a little bit more. Hey Chunky, how's it going? Welcome in. So rest is on your self-care list. Is to get some quality rest. Now, rest doesn't always equal sleep, but you got to slow down. So, we all, not you, just personally, I'm just saying people, we all have to slow down. So rest is what I definitely encourage you to get. But I'm excited, y'all. Come back next week. Who we got over here? Yep. So come back next week. So on that note, y'all, I'm going to chime on out of here. But y'all have us some items. That's in a package. So not a fresh item, an item that's in a package, because we are comparing ingredients from the UK and from the US. We got it? Thank you so much for getting to heart me. But I'm going to sign out, y'all, because we've been on here an hour and a half. So y'all take it light and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace. So we're here, and then I can't see over here. Okay, there.